I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World, and I saw this video the other day that I thought would be an interesting conversation point for us today. The video is by Buzzfeed, this amazing media company. They do really interesting work. A lot of it's very good, high quality stuff. And they did a video that somebody sent me, and it said 24 questions black people or would want to ask white people, or 24 questions black people need to ask white people, or something like that. And I thought it was a good and very interesting display of some of the things that black people kind of think about, questions that we might want to ask, that all of us have wondered about. Some of them were funny, like the question about about horror movies. Why do you make such bad decisions in horror movies? I think that's kind of funny. But then it got into more serious issues related to white supremacy, judging black women's hair. Why do you feel that having one black friend makes you an authority on race? How does it feel to have a conversation and not have to be a representative for your entire culture, your entire community? Why do you appropriate black culture? Why do you notice when there are no white people in the room, but don't notice when there are no black people in the room? Little things like that. And I thought it was a great video, and I loved what they were trying to do. And I thought it was worth talking about because I think that there was something about the video that, even though I liked what they were trying to do and I appreciate BuzzFeed, I couldn't help but feel a little bit perturbed by just the notion of having to create a video like this, and feeling compelled to kind of go back to white people to kind of ask them, why do you treat us so bad? Like that song, "Why You Treat Me So Bad," and to some extent, it kind of reminded me maybe of an abused spouse saying, "Why don't you love me?" Or somebody being mistreated and saying, "Well, why won't you treat me the same as you treat yourself?" Or me living in your house and saying, "Why don't you treat me like your own children?" And and the answer to that would be, well, because you're not my child, right? You're not one of us. You're not part of our family. That's why you don't get treated the same. And I've been telling you this for a long time. Imagine a guy just talking to an abused girlfriend that way and just saying, "Look, I've been telling you over and over again, I'm never going to marry you. I don't respect you. I don't like you. You're not cute. And I'm always going to be the same person. It's up to you to decide how you're going to respond to that. Are you going to keep asking me to change? Or are you going to modify your own behavior and adjust this relationship to your advantage, or where you can eventually benefit?" Um, and I think that that's kind of the issue for us as black people, is that we are constantly turning to white America, kind of with this hope and prayer that white people are going to change, that they're going to become better people, and I think they will. I think they can. I don't, and honestly, I don't think all of them try to be bad people at all. I think that they too are victimized, or I can say almost intellectually incarcerated by white supremacy, by structural racism, right? Structural racism shows itself not in the way somebody treats you down the hall or somebody calling you the N word. Structural racism shows itself by the fact that BuzzFeed can make this video and they're a multi-billion-dollar company because they were able to get billions of dollars in capital, probably from other white people. Jonah Peretti, the founder of BuzzFeed, was a co-founder of Huffington Post with Ariana Huffington, and so you got white folks swimming in billions of dollars, at least hundreds of millions, and making these things happen, and sort of giving you their blessing to talk about black issues in a broader framework. And as black people, we applaud this because there's an instinctual, inherent desire for us to not only seek approval from whites, but to almost feel a type of dependence upon whites to give us permission to address specific issues. So let me dig on in this a little bit more. Let me talk about this. You know, First, this is where, because I had to dig into my own emotions and say, I like this video and I like the people in it. I like what they're trying to do, but why does it annoy me? Why does it annoy me? And I think that what probably annoyed me is this. It says that Just like in the civil rights movement, when we were taught this lie that integration was going to be the solution to our problems, that we should deinstitutionalize the black community so we can go and live on the other side of town and shop at the white man's store and all this other, like that was going to make our lives better. I kind of, I think, saw this as a situation uh, where black people were kind of given this permission to speak on these things, and the thing is that even if the white people who are in power decide to listen to what you have to say and to be nicer to you, to give you more rights, to give you more access, to give you jobs. Right? We talked about jobs. Jobs are not something that somebody's supposed to give you. Jobs are something you can create for your own community. But we'll put that to the side. Even if they decide to be nicer to you, even if they decide to treat you better, um, they can always take that away. You see, because they built the house that you're living in. So when they decide to feed you as much food as the other children, they can always decide at the blink of an eye, wait, you know what? You're getting too much food. No, no, no. It's okay for my kids to get a little extra food, but you're eating more than my children, so I'm taking some of that food back. And the fundamental premise here is that um, equality can't be achieved in a fundamentally biased structural scenario. You can't have institutions that heavily favor the power of whites and somehow think that black people are ever going to achieve equality in that institution. At best, we might achieve. How can I say this? We might achieve acceptable treatment as a weakened minority group, right? But we're still that weakened minority group. We still get that disrespect that comes from the fact that people look at you and say, "Oh, you poor thing. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. I had no idea that I was hurting your feelings so bad. It must be so hard being black. Tell me, Paquan, tell me what it was like growing up in the hood. I really want to know, right? You get this sympathy, and sympathy never empowers you. You can't get through life with people feeling sorry for you. That just don't work. And this idea, this we sort of live under this umbrella, this ideological umbrella that says that white people kind of have this obligation to give a shit about black people, that they're obligated to care about us, that we need their support, that we need them to make us a priority, we need them to give us their approval, um, and we don't need that. We don't need the protection from white people in order to be an empowered people. We just don't need that. Now, I'm not saying that we should fight this. I'm not saying that we should go out here and protest the fact that Buzzfeed tried to do this. I think Buzzfeed and the founders are operating um, under. They're doing the best they can with what they know and what they understand. Most people don't really understand structural racism and really how it works. But they did do a video. I think somebody did a video on structural racism. It was a white guy. It was a good video, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Um, but one thing I'll ask you is this: many of us go through life feeling that we need approval, support, and protection from white people. Now, the question I want you to ask yourself is this: do white people feel that they need approval, support, and protection from us? Would you ever really see a group of white people make a video and say, why won't you treat us fairly? Why won't you give us opportunities? Why won't you let us into Howard University? We really want to go to Howard because it's so much better than all of our schools in our community. Because we ain't shit. And we just, we need you to like us because it hurts our self-esteem when you don't. I mean, think about that. I mean, would you ever see white people make a video like that? So to me, structural racism rears its ugly head um, in the video just by virtue of the fact that we have to make this video. So if you're black and you really want to truly be empowered, and somebody says, "What are some questions you'd like to ask white people?" My answer would be, I ain't got nothing to ask white people. I want to ask them just as many questions as they want to ask me. And the questions they might ask me are questions. It might be questions based on trying to just understand me. I like understanding white people because I think that understanding all cultures is important. I want to understand Asian people. I go to Latin America. I want to understand that culture. I certainly want to understand my own culture in Africa. But I don't go to those cultures sort of in a subjugated framework and ask their question or ask those questions. I'm not asking them to like me. I don't give a damn if you don't like me, because I know that we live in a world where the question is not about who likes you. Somebody could love you, but not respect you. Understand that. Black people may be loved. There are liberal whites who are really cool with black people. But the question is, as a collective, do they truly respect you? I would say in many cases the answer is no. And it doesn't mean that they're bad people. I'm not dogging them out. Sometimes the reason they don't respect you is because you don't respect your damn self. So that's all I want to say about that. So when you ask me what questions, Dr. Boyce, would you like to ask white people? Or what would you like to ask white people to do for black people? My answer is nothing. I'm not going to say there aren't things white people should do. We know reparations are old. If slavery and Jim Crow had not occurred, BuzzFeed probably wouldn't exist, because they wouldn't have the hundreds of millions of dollars that much of which was stolen from denying opportunities to black people. We know that. But at the same time, we live in a world where life just ain't fair. And as people of color, I think you can go through life begging and hoping and praying that other people decide to treat you better, or you can establish your core, mobilize, be strong, keep your dollars in your own community, educate your own children, build your own wealth, build your own institutions, and it may take 100 years, 200 years, 300 years, but we will rise again. But we will not rise by begging, and we will not rise by unconditional assimilation with no negotiating whatsoever. I will assimilate to you. I will be like you. I will follow you. I will love you because you have all the power and I don't, and I just need you to treat me well so I can feel good about myself. I'm not on that program. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World. Please take care. God bless. Have a good day. I'm gone. Peace.